Yo, it's me, CSCOTT, baby. Back with my final part of the Power Rangers retrospective. History of the Power Rangers, whatever you call it. I was gonna do this yesterday. Didn't have a chance to do it, I did my Leprechaun videos, got those done, except for Returns, which will be out tomorrow, Monday, the 16th. And then the 17th, I'm going to be doing a ranking of all the Leprechaun movies, plus a review for Lucky the Irish if I have time. So, there's that. But here, we'll talk about Power Rangers. So, as I mentioned, after RPM, ABC started airing these edited versions of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that no one liked. And, well, apparently neither did Haim Saban, who bought the Power Rangers brand back from Disney and took it to Nickelodeon, where they brought us Power Rangers Samurai. Just a quick thing. What I didn't like about these first two incarnations of the Power Rangers Nickelodeon did is that they had the opening. One, the Go-Go Power Rangers theme song coming back. That was cool. But they had the Rangers shouting out their name at the beginning of each of, like, Jaden, Nia. It's like, what? Why are they shouting their names? It's really weird. Bulk coming back and teaching his nephew, who is Skull's son. So think of that what you will. Skull got laid. But, yeah, and, it was bringing the Rangers back to form. The bad guys are called Nylox, and, these five, like, the first episode is not an origin story at all. Like, the first episode that actually, like, not on here, but the first episode that they actually put was called The Team Unites. And there were already Rangers, but it was more about the Green Ranger wanting to break away and have his own friends, but realizing that he needs to be a Ranger. They didn't actually have the origin two-parter until later in the season. Now, the DVDs actually corrected that and put the origin story as the first two parts on the DVDs, which I like. But I remember watching them, they don't even get together. They're just already together. But we get the origins, which is pretty cool. There's Sensei G, which is played by same guy who was the bad guy in SPD. Grum, I think was the bad guy's name. Here is Sensei. Mentor G, whatever. We get a connection between the red. This is one of the things that they brought back from the original series is a connection between the leader of the Rangers, which is the Red Ranger, and the Sixth Ranger, which in this one is the Gold Ranger. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Jason and Tommy had a huge connection. They were like best friends, and they were still Power Rangers. And here they did it again, with Antonio being a childhood friend of Jaden's that he was forced to leave behind when he became a Ranger. And so Antonio has built his own Ranger Morpher. And that was cool. He built his own. He becomes the Gold Ranger, which is fish. He's obsessed with fish. He likes to fish. We get it. Antonio is actually one of my favorite Rangers, but he's right there. These seasons when they go for Gold Rangers lately, they start, I think it's RPM. Like, the only one that really had the really cool for me was the black and gold. And then once they started just having them full gold, I was like, I do like the design. Each Ranger has an origami Zord, and they have to do these weird symbols that come out. It's pretty cool, And then the second season, they get Super Samurai powers, which there's this black box that they're supposed to use to contain the Nylox and the master of the Nylox, and it gives them this superpower here. And the funny thing, there's the two-parter called The Tanging Gate that brings back an actor who played Lothar and the Sensei from Ninja Storm. He's in this, which is pretty cool. Tanging Gate is, it's not a two-parter. Right here, Tanging Gate and Boxton, I think, are two parts. I don't know. There's also a character, to bring back another former Ranger, in that of Ricardo Medina Jr., who played the Red Ranger in Wild Force. I didn't talk much about him because he's sort of in legal trouble, but he was good in this. He plays Decker. And there's sort of this legend that he's looking for the ultimate duel, and he thinks the Red Ranger can give him the ultimate duel and free him from his Nylock prison. Like, he's under the impression, I don't actually remember exactly what was going on with him, but he believes he is human trapped in a Nylock, and if he defeats him, he'll be human once again. And he sort of disappears at the end of the first part of Samurai, shows up later in Super Samurai again. But I was like, I thought it was a good character. One thing I didn't like, and I'm glad that they changed this now that Hasbro's taken over, is that, okay, so the original seasons leading up from Fox Kids through Disney had like a 30 to 40 episode run. 35 to 40 episode run. Nickelodeon couldn't do that for some reason, so they split it up into two 20 episode seasons, and as a result, the way they play them on TV is they play like 6 episodes and then go on a long ass break until the end of the year, finish off the rest of the episodes, and then by January, February, they restart. Do the next 6, stop till the end of the year, and do it again. It's very, I don't like the breaks. You know, my son and I like to watch it. And then he commented with the last season we watched, Ninja Steel. So Ninja Steel, he's like, when are the Power Rangers come back? I feel like we haven't watched it in forever. Or like 72 days or whatever he says. Probably more accurate, but like, yeah, and the addition of Super always got me. Like, when it said Super Samurai, okay, that's pretty cool. Remember, we have different powers. They get a white little jacket thing. That's it. And he gets like a battleizer type thing. One thing I forgot to mention, these is battleizers, they kind of went the way of the dinosaurs as the series went on, but they even did a crossover movie that they marketed this movie, and it's separate from the rest. It's not any of these sets. You have to buy it separate. I found this at a pawn shop. Yeah, for $1. It brings back the Red RPM Ranger, introduces us to Professor Cog, who was in the Sentai the villain of their RPM Sentai, but he was never in our version. So it really throws it off. I remember watching this, I'm like, who's that guy? He seems like he's supposed to be the big bad guy of the RPM universe that we never met because they used Vengeance instead of this. And they only used the guy in the suit. Eka Darville did return to do the voice, but they never showed him in human form. It's okay. After Samurai, we got Megaforce, which was supposed to be the anniversary season. It even starts with the Red Ranger Troy having a dream of a whole bunch of Rangers fighting a whole army of fat guys. And we don't actually, because they had to split it up into 2, we don't get that till this. And one thing I don't like is, I remember seeing like Sentai footage on YouTube of this and thinking, oh, this could be the next season. Pirates, that's pretty cool. But no, they decided to mash these together and make Megaforce and Super Megaforce and just give them these powers because it's part of the anniversary thing, I guess. But just, this season is okay. It's kind of meh. The characters are kind of meh. The one thing you do get that I like is the whole, the Black Ranger Jake. He likes the Yellow Ranger Gia. So there's kind of that will they won't they type thing. But yeah, just it's kind of meh. But when you get to this, and the Pirates, like with this, a Sixth Ranger is a robot, which I always thought was kind of stupid. I'm like, what? We're going back to Turbo territory, and the Turbo was arguably the worst season there. But it's like, what, we're going back to Turbo territory? Will I do a season ranking? Maybe. Just maybe. Yeah. Once we got to this and the pirates and stuff, and the fact that they had these little things they could they connect, they go Super Mega Mode, which is what this is, and then they're able to turn into classic Rangers, which is cool, but it is confusing when they use Sentai Rangers that we've never seen in America before. They tried to explain away by saying you've unlocked new Rangers never seen before. Okay, that still doesn't explain why we're, where they came from, because they gotta use the Sentai footage, and so they just gotta explain it away. And that's how I found out that there was an unused suit, the Thunder suits. Those were supposed to be for the Thunder Swords, but they weren't ever really used. But yeah, and even Orion, who's the Sixth Ranger in this, he gets the sixth power. He turns in all the Six Rangers and stuff. It's pretty cool. And it ends with the big battle that brings back several Rangers for cameo appearances. And in the end, it's one big battle. They marketed this as a big 2-part episode. And Nickelodeon, for some reason, never has, like they used to. Back in the day, they had 1-hour specials and TV movies and stuff. But lately, they've been just airing one part one week and the next part the next week. Like, for instance, Henry Danger's finale. Like, last night they aired the first part, and next week they're going to air the second part. It's the finale. You air both parts at the same time. But no, we got to make room for young Dylan. Because everyone wants to see that, right? And what I don't like about Nickelodeon nowadays, and even like at night and stuff, is that they used to have Snick, right? 4 shows one night. For some reason, they won't go past 2 shows on a Saturday now. I mean, they had to substitute, but like, it's nothing really, like, they had, I'm going past Power Rangers here, but they had like shows, the sitcoms and stuff, they could have aired 4 in a row, but they would swap out. Like, they had like, Henry Danger, Game Shakers, Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don, and the Thundermans. They wouldn't air all 4 of them together. They started airing Thundermans on the weekdays, and then Henry Danger and Game Shakers were there, and then once they were off, they'd bring in School of Rock and Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don, but they could air all 4 of them on Saturdays. It's just confusing. But I'm going off topic, and I'm sorry. This season was okay. The big battle was a bit of a letdown. Like I said, it was a 2-part. The first part was just them fighting the main bad guy, part of it, getting defeated, and then the second part was when they knew the other Rangers showed up and came back, and had little cameos, and in the end, there's a brief fight where all the Rangers fight together, and it's like, okay, it's over. And Gia and Jake get together. Also, they never explain why Jake is in the Black Ranger in this one and the Green Ranger in this one. They start to explain it, like the little robot alpha dude. Oh, the reason is, and then it gets cut off. And they never explain it. Never. And this is where my son started to come in. This little last bit. Once Dino Charge came in, he's got a bunch of the freaking toys, and he's got a couple of the Megazords and stuff. Dino Charge, and they put this as 2 different parts. There is a full set, but I already bought these, and then the full set came out. I'm like, screw it, I'll just get these. For my money, Dino Charge is the best Nickelodeon season they've done so far, with Beast Morphers coming in a close second. And then Samurai, I'm just saying. Yeah, and this actually had some lore to it. Like, there's 10 Energems, and this bad guy is after them. And the Keeper selects the others. And they actually start with, there's like 2 Rangers already, the black and the blue one. And the blue one is the caveman who found it back in the cave days, and he hasn't aged since. And the Black Ranger is from New Zealand. And then we're introduced to the 3, the red, green, and the pink Rangers in the first episode that become that. And then their mentor becomes a purple Ranger. They find a gold Ranger. The Red Ranger title is after his father. Eventually, they find out he's the Aqua Ranger. And then there's like Prince Philip. And there's got to be more. There's an alien that has it. It's really all kind of complicated. And again, they split it into 2 different versions. And really, the only addition with this is that they have armor when they're inside their Megazord. Inside their Megazord, that's it. But these are pretty good seasons, and it ends with them living in a world, because they have to go back in time to the prehistoric era to stop the bad guy, and it ends up with dinosaurs still existing in modern day. And then you sit there and you think, that changes everything in the Power Rangers universe, right? Well, then we get to Ninja Steel. Ninja Steel is the 25th anniversary special. Super Ninja Steel, anyway. And you get this... okay, Super Mega Force had a few past Rangers show up during the season and a bunch show up in the end, but it wasn't really that big. This one had a special. It was only a half hour long, thanks to Nickelodeon, where a bunch of Rangers were being kidnapped by an evil android version of Tommy, and they were taking their powers to create a Ranger universe in an alternate dimension. I think they were taken from the Shattered Dimension arc in the comic books, but they don't have Lord Drakon. They had Lord Draven, which I think was supposed to be taken on that, which I don't know. I mean, they couldn't use Drakon, but they had Lord Draven, who looked this blue bird thing. I don't know. But the Ninja Steel Rangers team up with past Rangers to take it down, and just like the Mega Force battle, we don't really get a big battle with the Rangers to the end. It's a half hour, which I thought was stupid. I'm like, the other one was an hour, but now I think about it, the whole Rangers comeback was only a half hour because of the second part. It's only a half hour. I was pissed. I'm like, okay, big half. They aired this because, so when Power Rangers went to Nickelodeon, they started airing at 11 o'clock Central Time, which is noon in some other places, but 11 o'clock Central Time. And they did that for Samurai, Super Samurai, Mega Force, Super Mega Force, and Dino Charge and Dino Thunder. But when they started Ninja Steel, that started airing at 8 o'clock in the morning. No, it didn't. That was still airing at 11. I don't know what I'm thinking. That was airing at 11. So it was still airing Saturday mornings. They're going back to the format it used to. Saturday mornings, 11 o'clock, I'm thinking the Beast Morphers is airing at 8. So 11 in the morning. And so, Ninja Steel and that, and then they were broadcasting, the big prime time special. It was on a Monday, and it was it was the 25th anniversary special, airing on a Monday, and I went to look at it on my guide, on my cable, when it said it was a half hour. I'm like, no, this has to be wrong. Because sometimes my cable box can be wrong, because up until like a few days ago, it said that the Henry Danger thing was a Loud House 1 hour special from 6:30 to 7:30. And only after I saw the commercial that said it was Henry Danger, I went to see it, was pissed off it was a half hour. But it's like, okay, so this is a 25th anniversary special. You only make it a half hour? Are you stupid? And there's a lot crammed into this special. Like, it goes really, really fast. Like, it doesn't even give you a chance to even breathe. Episode starts, because earlier in the season, we see these 3 hooded figures. It's revealed that it's Wes the Red Time Force Ranger, Coda the Blue Dino Charge Ranger, and Gemma the Silver RPM Ranger. And they reveal that, like, there's separate universes. Like, the RPM universe is one universe. That was revealed in Mega Force, Super Mega Force. The timeline we knew from the Fox Kids and stuff is all one, which is probably where Ninja Steel takes place. And then Tommy and all them. And the Dino Charge universe is another one. Which is why it explains why the dinosaurs still exist there. I like that bit of writing. They're thrust into this that they have to go save Tommy when they find out that it's actually a robot. They go to the other dimension. They're saved by Tommy when the monsters are too much. Because he's the Black Dino Charge Ranger. He can go invisible. I forgot to mention that in the Dino Charge thing. And he saves them. Then they got to run and they go straight. They separate, go in half, and they got some of the Ninja Steel go one way, and some of the others go the other way, and they save the other Rangers, and then they come back together, and then they fight the bad guy, and then they win, and it's over. It's probably not that quick. It's a half hour with commercials, but I'm just saying, I remember sitting there going, that's it. It was big. They do have an episode at the end, at least like the Christmas episode or something, because here's the thing. Yoshi Sudarso, who plays the Blue Dino Charge Ranger, and Peter Sudarso, who plays the Blue Ninja Steel Ranger, are brothers in real life. And there was really no room. People wanted to have a moment with them. And there was no room to do it in that episode. But we get that in the finale or Christmas episode, whatever it is, where they actually have to work together when Preston, who's the blue Ninja Steel, has to use that to go into another universe, which ends up being Koda's universe, and they have to work together to defeat a bad guy. Stuff like that. Yeah, Ninja Steel season was decent. The only thing that got me, so they do this thing at the beginning where it's the main character Brody, his brother Aiden, and his father. His father is protecting this ninja wheel thing, and they do eventually reveal at the end of season 1 that he was stuck in the wheel, the father, and he was rescued. So there's a reveal here. So Aiden has been missing, like, he was left behind. Brody was taken by the aliens. He connects with Mick, who's been in many Power Ranger stuff, but like the actor. And they make their way to Earth, and they connect with the other destined Ninja Steel Rangers, and it's revealed that they get their things, and it flies off, and we don't see it again until it gets to the other two, or the white and yellow Rangers, and then they come together, and then we get this person who claims to be Aiden, being, his brother. They come across this Gold Ranger who ends up being Levi Weston, the famous singer. And so now they got the Gold Ranger, and then supposedly Brody's got his brother back. And then they do this twist thing where they reveal that they show that Aiden is working with the bad guys, and it's like, oh, so they brainwashed him? How did he never see, Brody and stuff? Turns out, because they revealed that the Gold Ranger was rescued by their Megazord or whatever, rescued him. And it was Levi. And they revealed that Levi is actually Aiden, who is Brody's brother. And they thought was Aiden is actually an evil robot. And what gets me is they decide to call, everyone calls him Levi for the rest of the season, including Brody, who should be calling him Aiden. For the rest of the Ninja Steel stuff, they call him Levi. Even Brody, which makes no sense. I understand the others calling him Levi to keep up things, but they still all call him Levi, but Brody should at least call him Aiden. And this guy, Levi Weston, is a big country music star, right? And he just somehow slides into the high school. How much older is Levi to Brody? Because he's the older brother. Would he still be in high school? Why are they all in the same classes? It's very confusing. One thing I forgot to mention about the Megaforce seasons is while they tried to bring stuff back in Samurai, this one felt like a rehash of Mighty Morphin with new elements. All the kids go to high school. They have a wacky teacher like Mr. Kaplan in the original. There's a juice bar where the guy's name is even Ernie. They have I don't even have a broken skull, I don't think. Because Ernie is comedy enough. But there's a juice bar. Orion works at the juice bar. They are summoned to a cave by an interdimensional being who was friends with Zordon, has a little robot friend. Come on. We get our... Ninja Steel gives us our... Well, I guess Bulk and Spike were in that one, but we get our Bulk and Skull of this one, and that's... I forgot their names. It's Victor, who's always trying to get his 100 trophy or something like that, and his little sidekick, whose name I can't remember. Victor and... But they eventually, they bring his story forward, as in the last episode he does get his trophy. Victor and Monty, and they're the bulk and skull of this. And okay, now they were funny, and that's great. And clearly, you don't need to do this in every season because Vulcan thing that was samurai, I guess, but Megaforce didn't have anything. Now we get to Beast Morphers. Now, first, before we go to Beast Morphers, it's not here. The Power Rangers movie from 2017. Briefly going over that, I liked it. And I like how they actually explain, they give a reason why Rita would have the green power coin. Because they don't really explain it in the actual TV show. She was the Green Ranger. That makes sense. And she betrayed them. That makes sense. So, yeah, I actually liked the Power Rangers movie. I was upset at the fact that they're not going to continue from that, even though everyone in my theater cheered when it was over. Now, it could have been because it was just over, but it generally seemed like people liked it. I hate how they don't actually go on audience, stuff. Like there are people that actually like this film, but they go by, oh, we didn't make enough money, so it sucked. Like Terminator Dark Fate. Oh, it bombed because you base it on money. You base it on the fact that it didn't make enough money that as you wanted it to, so it bombed. Not the fact that it was a decent film. And then you got Elizabeth Banks, ironically, going on about how, nobody wanted, it didn't make enough money as we wanted with the Charlie's Angels reboot. It didn't make enough money as we wanted because people weren't interested in it. No, it's because it looked terrible. People weren't interested in it, because it looked terrible. And it's not the fact that you thought you were going to, in this day and age, with this whole Me Too stuff, and how you want to do a film focused on women. Like the Cameron Diaz, Charlie's Angel films weren't anything to write home about, but they didn't have this whole, women power, and, men suck, and all that stuff as people who are doing movies nowadays are doing. You know what I'm saying? And this was clearly, from the trailers, you could tell this was all about female empowerment and men suck and women are better. That's what they were trying to put forward, and then people didn't go see it. Power Rangers, on the other hand, I never got it. This thing was marketed great. I thought it was a great film. But after this, Hasbro bought the franchise from Saban. Still going on Nickelodeon, but they brought and at first I was confused that they bought the rights to do the toys. Okay, because Bandai had been doing them forever. So now Hasbro's doing the toys. Okay. And then people are saying, oh, Hasbro has the franchise. I thought they were just buying the toys. No, apparently they bought the whole franchise. And they changed the logo up, and now we have Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And the one thing I like about this, besides the season is great, it's decent. I like the way they do this. The theme song is alright. First I was like, the theme song was alright. They went back to having a 3-ranger format at first, and the colors is red, blue, yellow, and then we have silver and gold. And one thing I did like is when it went to the next season, it wasn't Super Beast Morphers, it was just Beast Morphers Season 2. And then they announced that the Sentai Rio Soldier would be the next season. And we're going back to dinosaurs again! For the 4th fucking time! Can't say much about Beast Morphers because that's still going, but it is a decent season. Go watch it. If you're a Power Rangers fan, go watch it. I think it's decent. One of the better ones that Nickelodeon has done. Like I said, Dino Charge is easily number 1 Nickelodeon, followed by Beast Morphers, Ninja Steel, Samurai, and Megaforce. In that order that they've done. No, I'm not counting Super ones because they're all the same anyway. Just give it a different name. Power Rangers franchise has been up and down all over the world, and it's still going today. 27 years in the making. Just keep going. And I don't see signs of it stopping unless there's a certain thing going on out there, which I'm not going to say because YouTube will demonetize my ass. But, but yeah, just Power Rangers, man. So what are your thoughts on the Nickelodeon seasons of Power Rangers? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.